Hello everyone, welcome to Soulfully Yours. I'm your host Humaira Nasim, and today we have a very interesting topic to discuss. We have our guest Dr. Navana with us, and we are discussing about two most popular and most common greetings that we hear. That is Salaam and Namaste. Welcome, Dr. Navana. Welcome to our show. How are you doing?
Thank
Namaste.
you, Humaira. Yes, Namaste and Salam. Thank you for inviting me to your platform. It's always so much fun, so much of new knowledge and information when we come to your platform.
Yeah, and I must thank you for the last show that we did on meditation and using that learning. Now I wake up without the alarm clock, middle of the night, without any alarm clock, and that was awesome. Syncing the body clock with what you said last time. It works wonders.
Yes,
Thanks for that. Thanks, amazing.
great to know you are enjoying without alarm clock in the morning.
Yeah, I was thinking that, my body should, our body should be tuned in a way that it should wake up at the times or do things not through any machinery or something, but it should be
Yeah,
tuned in that way. And for quite some time, I was practicing not to use alarm clock and wake up and at right at 3:30, it just the
yeah,
body knows to this is the time. So
yeah, yeah.
thank you for the knowledge, and that works wonders.
Yeah,
Thanks.
because we are commanding our brain to
Yeah.
wake up at that time. And normally you will see that when you decide, oh, tomorrow morning, I have to wake up at 5 a.m., a few minutes
Hmm.
before 5 a.m., very naturally, you will open your eyes. Whereas
Yeah.
when it comes to alarm clock, it actually gives a jolt to our nervous system. And that's not a great way to start your day.
Exactly, and then the snooze button as well. So and then after that, the mobile next to you. So it's just
Yeah,
worst that we can do
yeah,
as the start of the morning. So
yes,
thanks a lot.
yes.
So today we are discussing about the two greetings, and let's start with Namaste. We would like to learn more about the deeper meaning of Namaste.
Yeah, yeah. Namaste is so commonly used. It's actually a salutation of reverence and respect and honor.
Hmm.
But the question comes that who am I paying this respect to, the reverence to, the who am I honoring? Am I honoring when I say Namaste, Humaira? Am I honoring the physical body, Humaira? Am I honoring the role that you are playing in my life of Humaira, a mother, a father, or it can be a friend, a teacher? Or am I honoring your identity? So it's beyond, saluting your physical body, your identity, your role. It's beyond a word or a gesture. So the Sanskrit word namaste, namas is to bow down or honor, and te to you. It signifies that I am the divine in me is bowing down to the divine in you. Now, what does that mean? It's very deep because you see, um, in Hinduism, in Buddhism, namaste or namaskara, there are various words for it have been always used for thousands of years because life and spirituality are not separate. Life and spirituality are not two different processes. The spirituality flows within life, and
Hmm.
there is life force flowing through spirituality. So, it's a very easy way to, there is a very easy way to explain this from the perspective of Gyan Yoga. When
Mm-hmm.
we look at it, an ocean, when you look at an ocean, it has many waves on the ocean, but the waves are not separate from the ocean. The ocean appears to be in waves, but the essence of the waves is the ocean, the water itself.
Exactly.
Similarly, the essence of our individual consciousness is the supreme consciousness, or the essence of our individual soul is the supreme soul, all that is, or what we call the essence of Jivatma is the Paramatma. So when I am
What
bowing down to,
Jivatma? What exactly do you Atma? I know it's that Ru, right?
yeah.
That we call
So
in yeah.
yeah, actually, it's a very good question you asked, because many people confused between what is Atma and what is Paramatma and what is Jivatma. So
Okay.
I'll try to explain it in the simplest words possible. So Paramatma or Atma is that supreme consciousness. And some of the qualities, that is described of Paramatma is that the supreme consciousness it is omnipresent. It is Adi and Anadi, means it is the origin Adi, but it is also Anadi, which is beyond any origin. It
Mm-hmm.
is, Nirguna, means it is beyond any qualities. It is
Mm-hmm.
beyond any action. It is what we call just be.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Okay, so that is the space of the void, the supreme soul, that the huge expansion of energy, the source of all. And when that source connects with the qualities of mind and the senses, the supreme consciousness becomes the individual consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And this individual consciousness then starts experiencing and expressing emotions, grief, happiness,
Mm-hmm.
desire, ego. So that source, that all that is, that supreme consciousness is what we call the Paramatma or Atma. And
Mm-hmm.
the individual consciousness that is, that have sprung out of the supreme consciousness, being
Mm-hmm.
associated with qualities of mind and the senses, is what we
Mm-hmm.
call the Jivatma, the individual consciousness.
Oh. And
And
how
it is,
beautifully I can relate with the Arabic word Ru and Nafs. It's like Ru is, with outside the body, and Nafs is both, as you say,
yes,
ego and so. Yeah, wonderful,
yes,
beautiful.
yes. So the Jivatma comes and goes when it leaves the body, when it takes the body.
Okay.
But the Paramatma, that is the supreme consciousness, is always constant.
Mm-hmm.
And you have noticed that when we say namaste, we put our hand in the heart,
Mm-hmm.
because it is said in the Shastras, in the traditional scriptures, that the seat of the individual consciousness is your heart center. So
Wonderful.
here we do the namaste, because when I'm doing namaste to you, I am not bowing down to your body or your identity or your role, but my consciousness is bowing down to the divine consciousness, that
Mm-hmm.
supreme consciousness, the spark of it that is residing in you. And in order to do that, what I have to do, I have to let go of my ego. I do not put you in a pedestal either higher or lower than me.
Yeah.
I am acknowledging and accepting the oneness of you and me, the
And how we
equality
are soulfully
and the
connected.
unity of you and me.
And how we are soulfully connected. Wow. That that's
Yes,
that's really really beautiful. Very nice.
yes,
And at and
yes,
at this point where we are connected soulfully, there is no gender, there is no
yes,
identity. There is, it's that level of association and relationship.
I
Wonderful.
am honoring the true self of yours that is residing within, which is beyond any appearance, beyond any nationality, race, creed, caste, background, economical background, educational background, beyond any identity, role.
And it's just interesting that because a lot of things are symbolic, and we don't tend to take it in the true essence, but just seeing it visually, it looks like as if we are buying to the other person. So I mean, this concept, I don't know how many people know about it, but this is such a beautiful concept to know.
Yeah, it is a continuous reminder that who we
Mm-hmm.
truly are,
Mm-hmm. And the true
not
self.
to live in that separateness, but how we are all connected. There is no
Mm-hmm.
space, there is no separateness between you and
Mm-hmm.
me, which our ego self is always constantly putting us in the illusion that you are you, I am I, and we are different from each other.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
So, this is
Yeah,
true spirituality, the essence of it.
uh-huh. And yeah, this is like, I think this knowledge is how many years ago that,
This has always been there since the ancient Vedic times, it has always been there.
and Vedic times go back to how many years approximately?
Thousands of years, thousands of years. I mean,
Uh-huh.
the probably the earliest some of the records is given like 1500 BC, but that's very modern.
Uh-huh. So,
Because if we look at the times of Mahabharata, if we look at the Shastras, Mahabharata happened 5000 years ago,
mhm.
and there was,
Yeah. And
horse.
now I can
Even
understand that even beyond like 5,000 years, the consciousness would have been so pure that, because like in these times, there's a lot of the human collective consciousness has suffered a lot because of aggression, war, traumas. So
yeah,
at that time, like so many thousands of years ago, that consciousness was at least not as, I mean, it was pure consciousness, not as, suffering and in pain as of today. Wonderful.
yes, yes.
Mhm.
See, our consciousness is always true in its own nature,
Mhm.
but over time, what it is getting is a lot of dust on top of it.
Mhm.
Dust of illusions, dust of conditioning, that's
Yeah.
dust of social circumstances. But when we
Yeah.
start, removing those dust and exploring, investigating, going deeper, diving deeper into it, then the
Yeah.
true essence always comes out.
True that. And what do you say? I like, for example, there is a lot of symbolism, and people take it in a wrong way. How to tackle that? Because
So this is not
many
a
things are symbolic.
mechanical hello. Many people think
Uh,
namaste is a hello.
yeah, because we are like, there's so much diversity, and every language, it seems that every word is equivalent in every other language, but it's not that
Yeah, yeah.
not that
Or I
simple,
have,
right?
I have also heard people saying that, but you should not be bowing down to anybody but God. How can you bow down to a human
I mean,
and
my
say
perspective
namaste?
living in the, in this region, my perspective, conditioned perspective, earlier was this, that as if we are, bound down to somebody else, yeah, like other human being, but that's not the
Yeah.
concept that it is. Uh,
Or if I'm doing
It's,
namaste to somebody, I'm putting them in a higher pedestal.
uh,
That's another myth.
yeah,
But it is actually the opposite. I am
it's
actually recognizing that you and me are equal.
uh, wonderful, and we share that bond of true self, and that true
Yeah,
consciousness. Yeah.
yeah. I'm
Wonderful.
saying that I'm honoring the divinity.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize the divinity that resides in you, just as it resides in me. I recognize the
Uh,
goodness. that resides in you, just as it resides in me. And
And
on this
it's such a
platform,
beautiful reminder.
yes,
It's such a beautiful reminder when someone says to you, reminding you of your inner core being, or the spirit, or the
yes,
ruh, or the jeev, what do you say? Atma, Jivat Atma, right?
yes.
Jivan
And
Atma.
have you noticed one thing, Humaira? The moment you look at someone in the soul level, all your judgment drops immediately.
Yeah, because you know that ego self just sheds away right there and
Yes,
then. Yeah,
yes. You
yeah.
cannot have your ego self standing up and also be in a witness state, because
Mm.
being recognizing the divinity in somebody is also recognizing the divinity in you and putting you in a witness state.
And you cannot lie when you are,
Yeah,
taking an eye contact. And there is
yeah,
something, eyes do connect you with your true self.
yeah, yeah. Then you are not bothered by the appearance, what that person is wearing, how
Mm.
poor or rich that person is, what
Mm.
educational background that person is. All those judgment, all those outward appearances just shades off. So that's a
Mm.
continuous reminder for us throughout the day, every time we do a namaste, that where we truly come from.
Yeah, that's,
It keeps a check on your karmas as well. It keeps,
yeah.
if you truly understand and integrate the meaning of namaste within you, you will be so surprised how your words, your actions, and your intentions change towards the person in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think as human beings, we are so much forgetful that we do need such reminders off and on and off, right?
Yes, yes. Now, Humaira, please share something. I'm more also curious to learn about the word salam. Tell me something about it, the
Uh,
roots of it, the meaning of it.
Actually, earlier, my conditioned self, I didn't know what exactly it meant. It was just like a greeting that we were supposed to do, and I just knew the superficial meaning. But on introspection and reflection and studying, learning from different resources, I, I
Yeah.
I got to understand the meaning, and I was surprised to know that there is so much depth in every greeting that we do, that we not only salam, as you mentioned, namaste as well. And if we go in the root, the deeper meanings of it, they connect so well. So let me tell you about the salam thing. It's the Arabic word assalamu alaikum. So assalamu alaikum has come from, the salam has come from the root Sin Lam Mim, Salam, which
Hmm,
means that you are safe in my presence.
hmm.
You are
Okay.
safe in my presence. So, or it can be divided into three levels. Like with one, you when you say salam, one meaning is peace. The highest desire that a human being, on this earth has, is that to have inner peace, right? So when we say salam, we are wishing inner peace to the other person, and obviously it back echoes back to us as well.
Yeah.
So this is the concept of when we say with the relationship with ourselves. Both we are greeting or blessing or wishing them
Yeah.
contentment and fulfillment in their life. So this is what the word salam means. Alaikum, to you. So, and the complete one is Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And the Rahma is the second level of relationship. Rahma has come from the word, it's the mother's womb, Raham. So that's
Uh-huh.
the most purest of the relationship that exists on this planet, the relationship of the womb. So that word has come from
Yeah.
that, and it denotes com- compassion and love in its supreme form. So when we say rahma, we say that I wish you compassion. This is a relationship with the other human being on the basis of compassion. And then when you say barakatuhu, baraka means unseen abundance. I wish you abundance. Now these, as I said, that this the human consciousness got dusted with traumas, wars, aggression, terrorism. So the ego self became too big. And when the ego self becomes too big, you need to be in safety from that ego. So when you wish someone and you are affirming that, listen, oh, first of all, listen, you are safe in my energy. You are safe in my presence, both at the soul level and at the ego level. So this is,
Yeah.
and so this is so interesting that I used to do it as on a superficial, okay, assalamu alaikum, or without even knowing the meaning or having the intention of it, that I am wishing you safety from me. I'm not gonna do any leg pulling. I'm not gonna backbite. I'm not gonna,
Mhm.
you are safe in my presence. I wish you compassion. I wish you love and abundance. Now, these three things are so very important in today's world that I think that the more we spread it, the more we are going to get it for our own selves. And interestingly, uh, this as I said, that these traditions they get dusted, and uh, as if what should I say? That rather than these greetings be a source of peace, they became like, if I let me talk in Hindi or Urdu, कि अगर आपने सलाम नहीं किया, you know, so we are डांट पड़ेगी कि यार मुझे बड़े को सलाम नहीं किया या छोटे को नहीं किया,
Mhm.
या उसने मुझे सलाम नहीं किया, तो rather than going in a depth कि यार इसका मतलब क्या है या इसको किस तरीके से
Yeah, it has
यूज
become a
करना है,
mechanical ritual.
मैकेनिकल रिचुअल, और नहीं किया तो फिर होगा कि यार इसको तमीज नहीं है. अब द
Mhm.
कॉन्सेप्ट जो जो उसकी असल चीज है
It is
उसको,
supposed to
एंड
be beyond your ego, but it comes with an ego.
इट कम्स विद इन ईगो. और मजे की बात, इफ यू आर ट्रू, जब you would notice that if you have some grudge with some other person and you in a state of your pure consciousness, मुंह से नहीं निकलता salam if you have a grudge, because you cannot say, you have to be honest, you are pulling me down, how can I wish you peace? You cannot.
Yeah.
वो at the soul level वो मुंह से नहीं निकलेगा आपके कि you are saying salam or you are saying namaste. So that's what the
But that's
concept
when
is.
we understand. The moment we say that namaste, we understand that whatever actions or whatever words you have used, perhaps even to hurt me, that I did not like, you have been doing because of the veil of ego that has separated you from the true nature that is behind that veil. And that is why where I'm doing my salam and my namaste, to reach that part behind that veil.
Exactly. To reach that, to just knock
Yeah,
at the heart, as knock at the heart and say, "Oh, do you remember yourself,
yeah,
and do you remember me?"
yeah.
So that's beyond the ego self. And
It's like I am
interestingly,
not against you. I am
yeah,
against your actions. I may not agree with
yeah,
what you are doing, but that doesn't mean that I am against you. Like
exactly,
that,
yeah,
that's again comes to the point of detachment.
yeah. Exactly. And in today's world, you must have noticed that in history, the ego attack has damaged and destroyed nations. क्योंकि
Yeah,
the ego says कि मुझे जो है ना वो मुझे ये कुर्सी चाहिए, मुझे ये टाइटल चाहिए, मुझे I'll be number one. तो ये ईगो की तरफ से आता है. So when you say I'm wishing you baraka, I'm wishing you abundance, which means it's naturally that you are safe from my wrath. I'm not going to pull you down, or
yeah,
I'm not going to have the mindset of scarcity. होता क्या है?
yeah,
I'm sure you know better than me about the childhood experiences, wherein जब हम छोटे होते हैं and we are in a family setup, or our brain is developing, we are learning duality, we are learning comparisons. हमको ये पता होता है कि यार ये अगर एक चॉकलेट है वो अगर मैंने नहीं ली तो वो किसी और को मिल जाएगी और खत्म हो जाएगी. हमारी सोच यहाँ तक रहती है. वी डोंट गो बियॉन्ड दैट अबंडेंस. वी डो के इसके अलावा भी है, क्योंकि बच्चे की बिलीफ उसी एज पे बन रही होती है. हम समझते हैं कि यार दिस अगर ये मुझे मैंने नहीं ली तो किसी और को मिल जाएगी और कहानी यहाँ पे खत्म हो जाती है. So the abundance is the unseen abundance. के this is not अदला बदला, it's not give and take. You will get it from somewhere else. So that's what the patience is
and
lacking
the
in us.
statement itself is self-explanatory when we say give and take. You first give, then you
Yeah,
take.
you first get
It's not take and
exactly,
give.
exactly. So basically, the thing is that in today's world, there is a lot of, for example, in our, you take any field, you take corporate field, you take even the coaching field, wherever you will find people, there is a lack of trust, wherein people cannot trust each other because they know this greeting is like that. You are affirming that you can trust me. I'm not here to destroy you. I'm not here to you know take away from you. I'm here to wish you compassion. So the relationship with our soul is the inner peace, the salam.
See, this Humaira, I feel this issue of trust is a very huge
Mm.
area of discussion, because now I feel kids are not even learning to trust from a very young age because of dysfunctional families.
True.
Because that's when, for a kid, the first role model is his or her parents. And there is so much of stress and uncertainty, tension all around you. Most parents, they bring it at home as well, and it affects the family life. And children are highly energy sensitive. Even, if you are having a disagreement between the spouses, but in front of a child you maintain the smile, they can see through your smile, they can feel that energy very easily, that something
The
is not
energies,
right
yeah,
between my father and mother.
true.
So
Energies
that
don't lie. So the more
the foundation of the trust, वो उधर ही हिल गया है. It's shaken, that foundation of trust.
और वही बिलीफ हम बड़े हो जाते हैं और वो हमारे अंदर रहती है कि यार आई कैन नॉट ट्रस्ट दिस पर्सन, आई कैन नॉट
तो
आई
एक
एम नॉट सेफ.
सबकॉन्शियस पैटर्न हो चुका है अभी, कि किसी को ट्रस्ट मत करो.
एग्जैक्टली. सो हाउ
And
टू वर्क.
continuously you switch on TV, anywhere. That's what you are absorbing all the time. No one is talking about oneness and positive thing. Everybody's telling you how bad things are out there. So that's it's a constant. Again and again we are being programmed, conditioned, layer and layer after conditioning is happening not to trust.
कैन यू हियर मी?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I think
So
you
tell me, Navana, what is the what is the best way to bring this trust back into the system or back into the society? How can we do that?
See, you cannot, if you are already an adult and you are
Mm-hmm.
already suffering from the issue of trust, now you cannot go back to your childhood and change your parents and change the circumstances there. But
Mm-hmm.
what you have in your hand is the power of choice and free will. That's what humans have, our greatest power, which makes us different from all the other beings of the animal kingdom. So you
True.
can exercise your free will and you can make a choice. How do you want to progress, move forward in your life? If you are going to drive a car and keep looking at the rear view mirror, for sure your car is not going to move forward for a very long time. It's going to end up in a gutter.
But Navana, don't you think so that everybody is so stung by it that जिससे भी they are living their own traumas, तो उनका ट्रस्ट दूसरे का भी ट्रस्ट फैक्टर नहीं है, आपका भी ट्रस्ट फैक्टर नहीं है, तो it's on a societal level. Everybody is like you cannot trust. एक दूसरे पे हम नहीं
Forget
कर
about
सकते.
society. We have to
तो वो
talk about
उसका
only
भी अपना
ourselves.
ट्रॉमा है ना, उसका भी अपना ट्रॉमा है. He has also learned. We all have learned it in our life some way or the other. So now आप तो अपना वो कर भी लेंगे, okay, now I'm gonna trust, but then what about the other person?
No, you have to ask yourself, is this how you want to live? Is that
Mm-hmm.
what makes you happy? Does that help you to arrive to your goals? If yes, continue not to trust.
Mm-hmm.
But if the answer is no, then the power is in your hands, the power of choice.
Exactly.
You can, it is always said that pain is inevitable in life, but suffering is not.
True. Beautiful.
Are you
We create
choosing
our
to
own
suffer?
suffering. We create it with our own hands.
Yes. Because you know what, when you're also, you have to understand, sometimes it becomes an unconscious habit, because with continuous stress, with the continuous flow of cortisol hormone within you, you get addicted to that cortisol hormone, and
Right.
that's what your cells want again and again. But once you make your choice, you use your free will, that no, I want to turn the table round, then
Mm-hmm.
you have to have the consistency and discipline and go through
Mm-hmm.
a process to change that behavior. It's like in one day, if you're having a certain way of living, and you are sleeping throughout the day and you are up all night, and you suddenly say, no, from tomorrow I'm going to have a healthy lifestyle, it's not going to happen immediately. Your mind is going to rebel, the cells
But you're
of your
not
body are
as
going to rebel.
patient enough, Navana. You are not as patient enough. You have to give the time. It's a
Yes,
process
of
of
course you have to give the
learning,
time.
right?
These are justifications to say I don't have the time. You have to give the time. The question is this a priority in your life? Because if it's a
Mm-hmm.
priority, if it's a must, then you will find that time. But if
Mm-hmm.
it's a should, I should do it, I ought to
Mm-hmm.
do it, it's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's about your
And
conviction.
and what about the scarcity mindset and the abundance mindset? Because nowadays
Again, this
you will see
scarcity
that we.
mindset. Yeah, they all, all these seeds, they come,
Mm-hmm.
even like 0 to 7 years from the
Mm-hmm.
fetal stage itself. Because nowadays I'm working a lot with my clients for the womb memory. When they're in the mother's womb, how much of the mother's thoughts and emotions flow through the amniotic fluid and the fetus absorb it, and they have no clue about it, but their thought patterns, their belief system conditioning has already started, and you are not even born yet, and you
I can
carry it
I can
forward.
totally understand this because children, even when they grow up, they are connected with the mother's emotions. They can
Yes,
sense it there in the. आप जितना भी drama कर लो, They know
Yes,
that there is something wrong because they have spent 9 months there. So they know exactly. And
yes,
especially, yeah, yeah, at a level where there is the ego self is not there, or
yes.
is it
Even something
developing?
like I
So,
recently had a client with a OCD issue, and
mm,
when he went to his mother's womb, he said his mother had OCD.
mm-hmm,
So that has been absorbed. Some of my clients, they get shocked when they come out of it, at the age of 44, and they are like, oh my God, all these emotions I've been carrying, feeling all my life, they're not even mine.
mm-hmm, exactly.
Like,
Wow,
I'll tell you
Navana, can
the one
yeah,
case
go.
study of this abundance and scarcity. One client came to me. What happened is, every time he would earn 100,000 of Indian rupees currency value,
Mm-hmm,
something would happen in his life, a emergency situation, an urgent situation, and that money will go away. So he, no matter how much he makes, he can never cross 100,000 in his
mm-hmm,
savings, and he
mm-hmm,
had no idea what is going on. So when we
mm-hmm,
went back, to his childhood memories, he went back to an age when he was like 4 year old, and one evening his father comes back home overjoyed because he just made a lot of profit in his business. And his
mm-hmm,
mom asked, how much money did we get this time? And guess what he answers? 100,000 rupees.
mm-hmm,
So his subconscious mind absorbed it as 100,000 rupees is that ultimate abundance that one can experience in life. Because a child's brain, 0 to 7 years, is like a sponge. It is the analytical skills, the reasoning skills haven't developed. They don't know what is right and wrong, what is good or bad. They just absorb
mm-hmm,
everything because
mm-hmm.
they're in that pure state where nothing is right and wrong in the universe.
Yeah.
And that is why even now, all he can earn and save is 100,000 rupees. But in today's time, 100,000 is nothing. It goes just
Mm-hmm,
like that. Times have changed, but then the
mm-hmm.
subconscious mind does not know about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we
I mean,
really need to go
we need
deep.
to we need to go dive in and extract our true self, that who we are at the soul level.
Self
And
exploration.
yeah,
And
introspection,
self
reflection.
exploration is so exciting and interesting and adventurous because it never gets boring. There is always something new you find, and you are like, wow, I even had that in me.
True. True that. And tell me what, because in our culture, and I'm sure I've heard a lot about, even in your culture as well, about the status of teacher, guru, the respect.
Yes,
Because in
yes,
today's times, unfortunately, because of having scarcity mindset, we don't even trust our we try to compete even with our teachers and gurus
yes.
and mentors and guides, and we'll be like, if you get it, I mean, if you learn a knowledge from somewhere, you're not even going to um, share it with, as in our tradition, we like we used to now it's a lost treasure, that we used to say salam, send blessings, and salam and blessings to the
Mm,
ones we learned from.
mm,
And unconscious, I mean, I've learned at this age that what I do when I do meditation or
mm,
prayer is
mm,
all all the time I'm sending prayers and blessings and abundance, and this to the righteous people who came before me, or the prophets who sent brought that knowledge and wisdom. Because
mm,
see, the wisdom and knowledge, it doesn't just pours, it does not come from the sky. It A person, maybe Gautam Buddha, or the prophets,
a
they
master
have
who has
to,
already walked that path.
they have walked their path, they have carved their path, and that's not easy. It's a
No,
path
it's
of
not.
pain and suffering. So if you just snatch that knowledge and you say, no, I'm breaking the chain and I'm going to put my ego tag on it, and I'm going to, because everything is connected.
Yeah.
There is no new knowledge that we are talking about. It's been there. It's been since time unknowns, and it's a part of our pure consciousness, right?
But then
Consciousness.
that's the
There's
difference
nothing.
between knowledge and knowing. You know,
Mm,
accumulating a knowledge is very easy in the days of Google now. But are you
mm,
integrating that knowledge in your life? That knowledge should be running through your veins. You should be
mm.
walking that knowledge, sleeping that knowledge, eating that knowledge all the time, living that knowledge. How many people are able to do that? Even that word guru, unfortunately, has been so much misunderstood, misinterpreted. You know, business guru,
Yeah.
motivational guru, all kinds of guru you find nowadays, corporate
Even
guru.
and even the kind of conditioning that we get, if we are being kind towards our teachers, or we are showing respect to our teachers, it's not that he or she is trying to butter the teacher, and to, because हम उस competitive world में हैं जहाँ पे you have to earn marks, and you have to earn something or the other, तो वो एक ego self आ जाता है कि चलो मक्खन लगा लेंगे थोड़ा सा तो कोई फायदा हो जाएगा. So the concept of pure knowledge is lost. कि वो अगर आप genuinely भी किसी को respect show कर रहे होंगे, तो वो क्या, because there's so lack of trust, वो कहेगा कोई ना कोई काम तो होगा जरूर. That's what we have ended up into.
Yeah.
How
देखो
to
किसी को भी
overcome this.
कितना भी मक्खन लगा दो, at the end of the day you cannot lie to your own conscience.
Mm,
You have to be honest with your own self. You cannot run away from your own self.
mm, mm,
See, those who are in the level of teachers, we have a different word for it. That's called acharya.
mm-hmm,
In guru comes from the word gu and ru in Sanskrit, which
mm-hmm,
means one, the light that dispels all darkness. And darkness here symbolizes ignorance. So the wisdom that dispels all ignorance. That is Guru. And when we utter that word, it's with a lot of reverence and
mm-hmm,
respect. And we have the Sanskrit, it says, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, that the supreme consciousness is manifesting itself through Guru. Guru is
mm-hmm,
an element, not a person.
mm-hmm,
Guru Tattva. Tattva means element, like earth element, water element, fire element, air element, and then comes the ether element, which is the Guru element, which holds all the wisdom, all the knowledge, all the information. And that
mm-hmm,
element can express itself through a human body, and it can
mm-hmm,
also express itself through a book or a video, through any physical form possible.
mm-hmm,
Whenever the Supreme decides to pass on a wisdom through the
mm-hmm.
physical form, can become
And this
your
is
guru.
and this is so unfortunate when we break the chain of that
Yeah.
knowledge, and the ego self is like, and that's why we
Yeah.
are losing abundance in our in everything. I mean, because we think that abundance is all material, so we tend to associate that how much money or things or material stuff we have, and that's a lot of abundance. But I think the truest abundance is the inner peace. That's the truest abundance. If
Yeah.
you have it, that's that's all you need.
Yeah. See, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, you don't need a guru from outside, your guru is within you. Very true. But a significance of a guru in your life is unparalleled. The
Mm-hmm.
magnetism a guru, transfers to a disciple is unparalleled. I can say
Mm-hmm.
that because I have come across, one of the greatest masters in the Himalayas, and I had the grace and blessings of my guru. So, guru
Mm-hmm.
also directs you, guides you. It's much easier. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
you go out with a car, in a car, and you want to reach a destination, and you can say that no matter what, with my willpower and my conviction, determination, I'm going to reach my destination. Yes, you will. If your willpower, conviction, determination, everything is at 200%, you will. But if you have a roadmap, if somebody tells you go right and then left and you reach there, wouldn't it be easier for you?
Definitely.
And only
Definitely.
that person can do it who has walked that path himself,
True.
not somebody
Yeah.
who has read the book and telling you.
Exactly. Exactly. But then the word guru or teacher is a, as you were mentioning earlier, it has been maligned. It's misused, abused. People have.
Yes,
Are we there?
you're back.
Okay. So then again, it's again the trust factor that how will you identify a true master?
See, again, the responsibility is on us, those who are aware, to spread
Mm-hmm.
that awareness.
Mm-hmm. But
If you are
you know
aware, if
how
you
how
have
are
studied
we
this
going to spread it when
knowledge,
the ego self is there to put a tag and say, "Oh, this is from me."
you have
How
to
will you
also
go? You know?
remember, Humaira, that behind the ego self, the true self still exists. And the true self
Mm-hmm.
is much more powerful than the
Mm-hmm.
ego self. So
Mm-hmm.
you see, how to explain this? Sometimes we convey many things through words. Not always they're effective. Even if somebody tells you many things that are logically correct in words, you still might feel something is off. I can't
Mm-hmm.
trust.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you convey with something much more powerful than words, and that is your energy, your
Oh,
presence. You entered
amazing.
a room, uh, and everybody else is like, wow, there is something about this person. The credibility comes even when you open your mouth. That's
Mm-hmm.
how powerful your true self is.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
everybody's true self is
it's lost.
connected.
It's lost. How to find it? I mean, it's scared to come out. That let's put that way.
You do not need 1,000 Jesus and 1,000 prophet and 1,000 Gandhis and Swami Vivekanandas in the world. Only one is enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But in this in these times where there is so much copying, thefts, and plagiarism, how can you build that
It
connection?
shows
How to
through. It shows
because see,
through.
see as you were mentioning about at energy levels, the energies they cannot be lost. If that's your effort, it's your effort, and it will remain till time. If you have learned it from someone, it is that energy passes through you. It's not yours. So that chain is not broken, but you think that by breaking that chain, you are going to have that, your tag or your name or whatever, but the energy won't die. And it will definitely, it will, it will come back.
Yeah. See, end of the day, people are not fools. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we are not fools. When we are talking to somebody, we are listening to somebody. All we need is a little alertness,
Mm-hmm.
and we know what is true and what is not. It's very
Yeah.
simple.
It is
We make
simple.
things very complicated. It is actually not.
Just imagine in today's world when we associate with influential people so as to elevate our status. Back in times, in ancient times, we used to associate with people of knowledge because we wanted to thank them and carry forward their knowledge. For that's why we used to show reverence or associate ourselves with them, with the people of knowledge. But today, we just want to have a picture with someone influential so that we can elevate our ego self, and that's in this world how the teachings that you are telling how to implement them.
See,
It
there will
sounds
always
easy,
going to
but
be
it's
all
not.
kinds of people. There never was an era where there was only one kind of people. There was always a mix of people. Whether it was Buddha's time, whether it was Jesus' time, whether it was Prophet's time, whether it was Gandhi's time, there was always a mix of different people, different personality. As
Mm-hmm.
a matter of fact, Lord Buddha, he made, talked about 42 different kinds of meditation because there are 42 different kinds of personalities that he recognized. So there is
Mm-hmm.
always a mix of sand and sugar. What do?
Yeah,
We have to filter the sand and keep the sugar.
beautiful. I do.
It's again,
Obviously,
apprehension.
there's no perfection. There's no. I mean, there's not one thing or the other. It's a
Yes,
mix of everything.
there will always
Obviously.
be something. 5,000
Mm-hmm.
years ago, in the times of Mahabharata, also there was the war of Kurukshetra.
Mm-hmm.
It was a kind of a world war at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there was two sides. In the
Mm-hmm.
times of Jesus, yes, there were people who crucified him.
Mm-hmm.
Today's time also, we find a lot of fake gurus.
Mm-hmm.
So there will always be time when the world is never going to be, because and we have to understand one thing. This earth
How
is
to
a
navigate in the in when you say that there will always be times where it won't be a pure state ever. It has always been like that. So what is the best
yeah.
way to navigate through and identify and take our roadmap?
Sorry, can you repeat it?
Like as as you said that there will always be times where there would be sand and there would be, you have to filter. So how to filter? The question is
How to
filter.
how to filter.
Yeah.
That is, again, I do meditation, which is why, because the more you are connected to that void within that space. When I say void, it means that space which holds all the information, all the wisdom, all the knowledge of the world. That
The place
space,
of silence.
that
Yeah.
silent space of silence. The more you are connected to it, the more you have clarity in the outside world. You recognize in a split of a second, just like that. Even when people are talking to you, for
Mm-hmm.
example, many times, like if you're talking to me, I'm actually looking at another direction. And
Mm-hmm.
it's because I'm catching the waves
Mm-hmm.
and I can hear, I can feel the energy of those words, from which depth of the waves it is coming to me. And it tells me how much truth is there in the statement. When a client comes and I give them homework and I tell them, have you been working on? Yes, yes, I've been doing everything. I know from the
Yeah.
way
If you are
to
energy sensitive, you can pick the subtle things also.
seeing
That's
beyond
the
words,
beauty of
seeing
connection,
beyond words.
to be connected with
Yeah,
your true
yeah, that
self.
cannot happen if
And
you're
that
too much
reminds,
restless on the
as you
outside.
mentioned about meditation, similarly in our tradition, when we meditate and we do prayer, it's always salam. It's always salam, sending salam to the Prophet, sending salam to people, the righteous people. And I mean, even when we pray 5 times in the one single prayer, it's like we are to our right, to our left, we are saying salam, 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 because this ego attack is so powerful and so devastating and destroying the whole of humanity that we need to spread this affirmation, remind ourselves that, we as human beings, we need peace, wherein and peace is a state where you the other word like of Salam is to surrender. When you surrender, it means that there is no resistance therein inside yourself. So when you have resistance, it means there is an ego self. uh,
Yeah.
so when you surrender, there is no resistance, and
You
the
cannot
ego.
surrender if you have your ego up.
Yeah. So that's the best way to keep leveling your ego down,
Yeah. Yeah.
isn't that? So I mean,
It's
the more affirmations, reminders we give to spread that and bring that true self, the divine self, the beauty inside of ourselves. The, the ego has to go. So that takes some rest.
it is constant practice of awareness until
Mhm.
it becomes like a second skin, your natural habit.
True, true. It's such a beautiful conversation, and so much learning, exchange of knowledge that we have done. Uh, and it's always a pleasure talking to you, Navana.
Yeah.
It's always soulful.
It is my pleasure always to have
Mm.
a conversation with you and, come to your platform and have
Uh,
an exchange of knowledge.
uh, I'm wearing this symbolic this to
Bindi.
activate my pineal glands. Can you explain the importance of this? I was going through pictures of my dad, and there was always something here. So can you explain the concept? Like
Activating the third eye.
activate. Maybe we can do another episode on that. That's another big topic. So I just wanted to recharge my intuition and remind myself. It's like kesar or something that's put here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not
yeah,
kesar, but it's a symbolic thing to remind myself that I have to
yeah.
recharge my intuition.
Like sandalwood, some they put because that is to bring the cooling sensation, to bring
Yeah.
clarity. And
So what
we
what
believe
what is
there
put
is a
what
fire
is put
energy.
here?
Yeah, the
What is put
kumkum, the
here?
red,
Like okay, okay.
that is
So
to
is it
activate the fire
what is
energy here.
kesar? I was reading somewhere. Is it kesar or something or no?
Yes, the kesar is also to activate the fire energy here, but
Uh,
not actually those plastic bindis nowadays. The
that's what
original
I'm
bindi.
wearing right now.
The original was sandalwood, kesar,
uh,
kumkum,
okay, wonderful. It,
because they would
that's
have chemical
another vast topic,
reactions in
and
their
that
body.
that can be for another episode for sure.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we can actually do that. A lot of things that people take as superstitions, but they are not. There is a scientific reason behind it, why it used to be followed.
Exactly, and we coming from the same culture, we share the same, superstitions and stuff.
Yes,
It would be lovely talking about them and finding the root of it. कि आखिर ये चीज बोलते हैं तो क्यों बोलते हैं? And when you reflect, you see so much depth in it that you say, oh
yes.
my God, वो ये क्या चीजें हैं जो हमने देखी हैं, हम तक पहुंची ना very distorted form.
वो
What is the
एक
origin
चीज
and what is also?
सही से कर लो, पूरे जीवन अध्यात्म का पूरा समझ आ जाएगा.
Exactly. तो हम तक जब तक पहुंची, it is in a so distorted form that सोच के होता है कि यार है कुछ और
Yeah.
मेन स्ट्रीम पे कुछ और है. So
हाँ.
yeah, definitely we can do that some.
And
Uh,
that's why children today, they don't want to do it because they think, oh, it's a superstition, but nobody is there to explain it to them. Why?
the merger of science and spirituality is
Yeah,
something that is the need of the hour, because
it's science beyond
when you yeah, if you become too much scientific, you lose the spirit, and if you go too much into spirit, you lose the intellect, or the reasoning. thing. So I think the balance is that is what needed now. Okay, nice
Thank
talking
you
to you.
so much, Humaira. It was lovely speaking to you, and I learned so much about Salam as well. Thank
Mm.
you for
And yeah,
sharing your culture and your knowledge with me.
thank you for sharing yours. It was a pleasure talking. Next time,
And I hope the
thank you.
audience
Take
loved it
care.
as well.
Take care. We are signing off. Soulfully yours, Humaira. Bye bye. Namaste.